Well, hello there, Capricorn. How are you? It is so good to see you again. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. Today, we are doing your mid-May general tarot reading. So we'll take a look at the overall energies with the oracle cards, and then we'll move to the tarot for more details about any obstacles on your path or any advice that Spirit has for you. This reading is good for the next 4 to 5 weeks, and it will be good for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. So if the message doesn't resonate with you, you may want to try out one of your other signs. Okay, let's get into it. Let's see what we have on the horizon for you. Hawk Spirit, let Spirit be your guide. And wondrous universe, walk in beauty. Oh my goodness. There is just this energy here, Capricorn, of something, a beautiful opportunity coming onto your path in the next month or so. Something that, it's, you have the number 32. I would say within, like the next 5 weeks, there's an opportunity, and I feel as if there's almost this excitement within you when this opportunity comes. So it could be, an opportunity to go out on a date or something like that, or an opportunity to change career paths a little bit, or a promotion, or just a shift. I'm not going to say it's like, is a major, it's not like a tower moment or something huge, but there's this opportunity, and it's almost as if the universe is bringing in something a little bit small that will lead to something much bigger, okay? But it's almost as if it's kind of like you've had a hard time shifting gears in your life in some way, okay? So you may have been on the same path for a very long time, kind of having a hard time seeing a different way of doing something, whether that's in your career or your lifestyle or something like that. But there's this beautiful, it's got such a beautiful energy to it. It's just a minor shift, and yet at the same time, it like changes your vibration. It changes your enthusiasm, your inspiration, your motivation to make bigger changes in your life. Okay, so the situation that I'm kind of thinking about is like, have you ever kind of gone and, gone to the hairdresser or something like that, or the barber, and, you say, oh, I want something just a little bit different, and then it's not like a total makeover, okay? Maybe it's just a small shift in the way that you do your hair, okay? And it's almost like it changes your whole attitude. You love it, right? And then it's kind of like, ooh, that, I really love the way I feel in this new haircut. And then maybe that also leads to you going and buying a new outfit and new shoes, and then, it just kind of snowballs. Well, that's the energy here. It's kind of like a snowball that it becomes something bigger. It's kind of like it gets you to shift just enough that all of a sudden you start seeing opportunities of how you can shift in other areas of your life. And one of the reasons we don't make those changes is because until we get truly uncomfortable, sometimes we're not willing to make changes. So when we finally get tired of, our job, we'll start searching for a new job. Or we finally get tired of not being able to fit in our clothes, we'll finally start eating healthier or start exercising, right? Instead, okay, and it could be that a lot of times you don't make changes until you get to that point, right? This is like an opportunity that comes onto your path that you suddenly see, oh, yeah, that kind of gets me a little bit excited thinking about going in that new direction. And you take it, and it almost snowballs into bigger changes in your life. This is beautiful, because I feel like for a long time you may have felt like you're not worthy of making shifts or changes in your life, right? And you have professional assistants here, right? It could be that unless a professional tells you you need to make changes in your life, you won't make them. So it's kind of like, you won't make changes in how you're spending money, or your viewpoint on money, or how to create money or spend your money, invest your money, unless you have a professional financial accountant or somebody to tell you how to make changes, right? You may have a hard time like making changes in your career unless, somebody tells you you have to make a change. Or you won't make changes in your health unless the doctor says you have to make changes. Okay, so it's coming back to almost that energy of when you're a child, and you're always looking to authority, your parents, your teachers, or the adults in your life when you're a child, to tell you how to make changes or what to do. It's either you're rebelling against having people tell you how to make changes, that forces you now to make changes, or it's kind of like you wait until somebody tells you to make a change that you feel is in some way more authoritative than you. It's changing that mentality completely, which I love, because what it's doing is it's helping you to see that you have the capability to make the changes in your life that you would like to make, where you don't have to wait to be told to make the changes, or you don't have to wait until you have permission to make the changes. You're taking back your power, you're taking back your authority in the direction that you are moving forward. Wow, what a shift that is. And then you have a personal issue reaches resolution. It could be that this week, that snowball, that very first snowball that kind of creates this bigger snowball, this avalanche, right? Is just, understanding there could be something that you resolve in your own life that helps you to see the bigger picture of how you can make these minor shifts in your life and just completely change your life without like a huge, overwhelming clearing of the path, right? It's beautiful. It really is beautiful. It kind of reminds me, recently I talked about this in some of the videos, and I may have talked about it in yours. I bought new dishes for my kitchen, and it has completely changed my idea about cooking at home, because I live by myself, right? And I had gotten into the habit of just not cooking dinner. It was kind of like putting things together that were in the refrigerator that were easy and didn't really require any cooking or anything. And then I bought new pots and pans and new dishes, and I have truly enjoyed cooking healthy dinners for myself. And I feel like, it helped me to open my eyes about how sometimes we hold back. I held back on buying those new dishes, right? I held back on buying new pots and pans. What I had was decades old. It really needed to be replaced. It just kind of like reinvigorated my energy about cooking. And eating healthy meals also helps us to take better care of ourselves. So I feel like it's something like that. I recognize, if I do, it was kind of like a present to myself to buy the dishes and the pots and pans. I had wanted to do it for a very long time. When I finally did it, I noticed it also created these new pathways in other areas of my life. Recognizing, okay, I spent a little bit of money on myself, but wow, what a change it's made in the way that I am eating now. So let's go ahead and go to the tarot and see what you have here. Yes, surrender to the divine, letting go. I feel like you are holding on to some idea of how the universe is supposed to work, or some idea about how decisions, changes in your life are supposed to be made. It's almost like you're holding on, gripping, okay? It's almost like, see how she's gripping onto those leashes, just holding on. There's some belief that you have that you're holding on to something in your life that it's time to let go of, because holding on to that is also holding you on to a pattern or a belief system that you are no longer in alignment with. For me, it was really hard for me to get rid of dishes that were perfectly fine and pots and pans that were perfectly fine, right? But they were pieces, okay? They were, a hodgepodge of things that I had over like the last 30 or 40 years, right? And I also recognized that they had a lot of memories from my past. Opening myself up to getting new dishes and pots and pans that represent who I am wanting to become made a huge change in my life in more ways than one. And I feel like that's what you're doing. It's kind of like I struggled myself with, letting go of dishes and pots and pans in many ways. There was an emotional attachment to those things, right? But when I let go of it, it helped me to propel, to catapult into a new way of envisioning my future. And that's what you're doing. You're surrendering, understanding that as long as you hold on to this belief, or you hold on to this way of thinking that you are supposed to be, or you are, supposed to, how you're supposed to, spend money, save money, your worthiness, how you earn money. There's almost this sense where as long as you hold on to that, you're not going to have the joy and the fulfillment, the love, the passion for life that you would really love to have. It's just such an interesting energy here. It's almost as if letting go of one thing in your life allows you to just like move so far into the future. So let's take a look at your area of resistance. Yeah, you have fear. Show the world the real you. Interesting. Because I feel like there's part of you that feels like you have been, it's almost as if you, they're saying, do as I say, not as I do. It's such an interesting, I love that line, because it's kind of like, I think for a long time, you have been saying to other people in your life, okay? And depending on how old you are, that could be, you saying it to your parents, or saying it to your adult children, or other members of your family, your romantic partner. It's kind of like you have been like living a certain way and having this energy of around, I feel like it's really around money because it's the Five of Pentacles. There's this energy of, well, it has to be this way. This is the way the world works with when it comes to money, something like that. And when you make this shift, one of the reasons you're like not wanting to make this shift is because you are now going to have to admit, okay, that what you used to think no longer is the way that you think now. So it's kind of like you have to go back and say, okay, this is the way I saw the world at one time. Now I no longer see the world that way. And it might mean that there are people in your life that you have argued about, okay? It's kind of like, say I had somebody in my life that argued with me and said, well, those dishes are perfectly fine. Those pots and pans are perfectly fine. You shouldn't throw those out, or something like that. Or I had, even more so, I had told other people in my life, right? You should keep your dishes and pots and pans forever, right? That type of thing. Don't throw those out. Those are still okay. They still have, years on them. But sometimes what we have to realize is that we have emotionally detached from things that are in our life. It's time to move on from them. That allowing ourselves to give away some of the things that we've outgrown, right? Brings other people joy. The people that may receive them, it may bring them joy, but it also allows us to let go of the emotional attachment that we have to some things that no longer are meant to be in our life. They're holding us back from the life that we would like. For some of you, you may be fearful. Well, wait a minute. I don't want the snowball to get bigger. I don't want changes in my life. I know what my life is. I feel safe and secure in the way that my life is. I don't want to make those changes. But part of you is looking out onto the horizon. wanting changes, wanting something new in your life. And yet at the same time, that new can't come in until you let go of the old. It's just so beautiful. I had honestly been trying to get myself geared up and energetic about cooking healthy meals. I knew it was a change I needed to make. I did not realize that it was those dishes. It was those pots and pans. And I think part of it was the emotional feelings that I had when I pulled them out, because they were old. They really represented an older version of myself. I really didn't like seeing them. It kind of reminded me of some sense of, that I wasn't worthy enough of buying new for myself, even though they were still okay. Or, if I allowed myself to replace those dishes that really to me were very personal and represented a part of me in the past, that, then I'm letting go of the past. Yes. And letting go of the past really helped me to step into a brand new excitement for my future. So let's see what your advice is. Yeah, look at this. You're playing it safe. Okay? Once again, you're playing it safe. I think it has something to do with money or making a change in your career or something like that. It's kind of like, I'm doing this to play it safe. But guess what? I think, we've kind of come through this pandemic. A lot of people have a different viewpoint of life now, right? We can't, I had this discussion with my son the other day, who's, in his late 30s. We were talking about this, and he was like, yes, he even has a different viewpoint of money. He used to think, I need to have a lot of money saved up in the bank and everything like that. There is something about being safe, having financial security, knowing that you have that safety net, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, he's like, yes, I see the world in a different way. It's time to start enjoying life. And I think that is the difference here. It's time to release negativity. I think that's what you're doing. Releasing the negativity of thinking, the world is going to end, and I have to make sure, that there's this big tower, this, something bad is going to happen, so I have to save up for that rainy day, Now, once again, I'm not saying, Capricorn, go spend all your money, right? It's not that, but it's a balance. I feel like perhaps you're out of balance. That's exactly what my son said. It's a balance between having money to feel financially secure and stable, right? And also having money in order to spend in a way that brings you enjoyment and pleasure, adventure, the experiences that you would like to experience. It's just a different energy here. And I think with Pluto moving out of Capricorn, right, which was very much that you have to work hard, you have to save up for, retirement, and, it's just, and once again, I'm not saying that there isn't some truth to that. But if your whole life is about working super, super hard, right, and never enjoying life along the way, then, who knows what may happen. You get to retirement age, and then maybe, you don't have your health or something like that. There's something about finding balance in your life, of understanding that it is about work and play, that there is this sense of, yes, I want to have financial security, but what is that number? Really kind of coming into the energy of, I don't want to save it all for, a time in my life when I want to experience a life at this moment. Really beautiful energy, because I think what you're understanding is that you are sabotaging your own happiness. The Nine of Pentacles has all of this beautiful energy. It's an energy of being independent, of having enough money, right, for retirement or whatever, and yet at the same time going out and having enough money to enjoy life now. The Nine of Pentacles enjoys her life. It's not all about just working and building up the pentacles. She takes time out to go out with her friends and have a really good time, to do that traveling that she would like to do, to buy the new dishes or something that she feels worthy enough, to buy. You are sabotaging that by holding on to some belief system or pattern of behavior that it's time to let go. And I think that you are seeing that is, you just are seeing the other side of something, the other side of a belief system. Yes. Wow. But I do feel like, coming back to this, you have a big opportunity, something that can make a minor shift in your life, and yet at the same time brings in this avalanche of change, of wanted change. I'm going to say, I think this is change that you would like to make, but you're having a hard time getting yourself inspired or motivated to change. All right, let's pull a soul truth card for you. And Capricorn, I do personal readings, so if you're interested, the link is in the description box below. I'd really be honored to do a reading for you. What passion am I ready to pursue? Yeah, it could be that you are just working away so hard, but you're not enjoying the things that you're passionate about. Your creativity, writing a book, traveling, trying new foods, experiencing new cultures, right? Meeting new people. It's almost as if you're spending all of your time just toiling away. All right, your passions will continuously lead you to your purpose. What passions have you put to the side, given up on, or buried? What passion is ready to come alive in you? And that's a beautiful reminder that we are here not to just work. We are here to enjoy life and all of those experiences and adventures that you may be toiling away for now, right? Thinking, oh, one day I'll go do that. It's time to start doing it now. This is definitely a message. It is time for you to start putting some true effort into having that fun, that passion, that play that you are looking forward to. All right, I'll leave it there, Capricorn. I wish you so much love and light, and thank you so much for all of your support through commenting, liking, and subscribing, and I hope to see you again really soon. Bye for now.